In Arraial, each player is organizing their own street party and trying to make it as enticing as possible to the general public. The main objective is to gather the largest amount of revelers in your board. In Arraial, each player is given his own player board that represents his street, a ruler representing the street entrance that will limit the capacity of said street and acts as a way to set the challenge level of each game. Smaller streets are harder and larger streets are a little bit easier, and by default you will place this ruler depending on the number of players on a certain slot along the board. There is also a carousel structure where each player will find the stalls available to build on its street during their turn. These stalls are shown in a unique deck of cards, and you will find cardboard versions of the pieces nearby. You will notice that each card has a yellow dot that dictates the correct orientation of these pieces and the way that they should be put in the carousel, and this is very important, as you'll see later on. There will also be a queue of cards showing the pieces possibly available for the next player, and we'll talk about this again later. During each turn you will be able to perform up to 3 actions, and these can be of 2 types. You can spin the wheel where the pieces available during your turn are, so you'll change their orientation, or you can choose one of the pieces and place them on your board. You can repeat these actions any number of times and do them in any order you see fit, as long as it is no more than 3 actions in total. When you choose the piece you want, you need to transfer it to your board precisely in the position you see it in the carousel, and that is why the spins are important. Think of it like rotating a piece in a game of Tetris. Then, similar to Tetris, you should bring the piece down along your player board until it lands on either other piece or the bottom of the board. After your piece has landed, you're free to move it laterally if there is any space for it to move, in order for it to fit better with the other pieces already on the board. After you are done with your 3 actions, you get to fill any empty spaces of the carousel with pieces on the queue, and replenish the 3 cards on the queue from the main deck. Then the turn passes to the next player. And why is this piece placement important? Well, in Arraial there are pieces of 4 distinct colors. Whenever you can place 2 pieces of the same color orthogonally adjacent, you get to place a meeple of the same color in your party. Guess your stall was so great it attracted a guest to your street. If you manage to make the largest space of adjacent pieces of a single color, you will also get to bring the couple meeple over. This is a meeple that will fluctuate between boards and that can be stolen as soon as someone gets to make a larger space of that color in their own streets. Think of these meeples as passible of being stolen by the competition, so they're not set in stone. If you're careless and someone gets more of one color, you will lose the meeple and you will lose those points. Besides this, like it happened in Tetris, where if you could match pieces to occupy a full line, you would get points and more space to develop your puzzle, in Arraial, when this happens, you get to bring your street entrance one line up and to place a white meeple on the ruler. This represents a guest that is still uncertain that he wants to get in your street, is still judging and figuring out if that's the right street for him. He might join the festivities later, as you will see later on. Arraial is played in 3 rounds, as you can see in the cleverly designed player aid included. Each round lasts until there are no more cards in the deck to replenish what's missing in the carousel. When the round ends, you will move the ruler that represents your street entrance 2 rows down. If by doing this you haven't touched any of your pieces, well, congratulations, you get to score all the white meeples that were unsure if they want to enter your party. If by any chance your ruler touches your placed stalls, either during your turn or at the end of the round, the party is raging uncontrollably and you will lose the ruler, including any white meeples on top of it. And so, you will also lose a way to score guests from future completed lines. You won't lose the game like you do in Tetris, but it will be a serious drawback as far as scoring goes. Now, there are some limitations regarding the 3 actions you can do in your turn. To make things interesting, if you're playing in the first 2 rounds, you are forced to play at least 1 piece from the carousel during your turn, with one of your 3 actions. If you are on your 3rd round, well, to make things even harder, you will be forced to play at least 2 pieces from the carousel during your turn. This makes it a little bit harder to avoid bursting your street entrance, particularly as you will be choosing pieces that were previously selected by the player before you to be available to you. And if he is playing well, let's say you will tailor it to be either pieces you didn't need or the pieces that you need but in a weird position that just won't do you any good. At the end of the game, the scoring is simple. Just count the meeples in your street. These are worth 1 point. If you still hold the largest single block of each color, that means you control the couple meeple of the said color, and those are worth 2 points apiece. It is simply an easy way to score everything. You don't need to have a pen and paper to score everything and make a tab of everything that happened on the street. Just count the meeple heads, count the couples, that's it. If you have any questions, suggestions, or if you just want to say hi, well, just drop us a comment down below. Thanks for watching.